Well, guys, the Los Angeles wildfires must have moved north because the San Jose housing market is burning up right now. Not a great joke. Moving on. Prices are up, supply is down, and pending sales just shot to the moon. It's like all of San Jose is in escrow right now. There are some rays of light for San Jose home buyers. Listings are up, and strangely, price cuts are way up. So how is a San Jose homebuyer going to thrive in this market? That's the question we're answering in today's San Jose Real Estate Update for March 4th, 2025. I'm Jon Schwartz, California's 1% homebuyer agent, and my channel is for the California homebuyer. I post local market updates, statewide market updates, and California real estate news that you need to know, like my recent expose of the California Realtor scam that's grifting from California homebuyers hundreds of millions of dollars a year. I'll link to it up here as well as in the description. Please check it out right after we check out this week's San Jose numbers. Let's get into it. And we're looking at the latest weekly print from Redfin for the San Jose metro market. Each colored line represents a year. The green line is this year, 2025. Orange line is last year, 2024, etc. Right now we're looking at the median sale price of a home in San Jose. And as you can see, sale price has been climbing rapidly the past couple weeks. Right now, the median sale price of a home in San Jose is $1.55 million. That's up $66,000 from last week and up $115,000 from the January trough. Now, these kinds of price gains are not unprecedented. Going back in time, we can see that 2024 and 2022 both had very steep price inclines at the beginning of the year. 2023 was a little bit calmer, but what's notable is how early this price climb is hitting us. You can see that our trough hit earlier than 2022 and 2024, and that our climb has hit earlier than both of these years as well. Why are prices skyrocketing so early in San Jose this year? Well, let's take a look at the metrics and see what we can find out. Now we're looking at the new listing median price of a home in San Jose. This is the median price that new listings came to market this week. And I love this metric because it's so current. You know, sale prices reflect homes that sold this week, which means they went into contract a month or maybe even 40 days ago. Whereas this metric reflects prices that have come to market this week. And what we've actually seen is a drop off over the past few weeks. This is about a $30,000 drop off in new listing median price down to $1.447 million. And we're actually under last year's new listing median price point for this time of year by 2.5%. You can see the green line has dipped under the orange line. So even though prices have skyrocketed up and early, looking at the prices at which new listings are now coming to market, it seems like some steam might be running out. New listing median price is also an excellent indicator of realtor sentiment because realtors, of course, are in the market. They're seeing what's happening and they're pricing their sales accordingly. So when new listing median price starts to fall off like this, it's an early indicator that the market is already beginning to lose steam. So what I'm suggesting is, even though we had a super early start to the spring and prices have already jettisoned up, can something jettison up? Even though prices have skyrocketed up a few weeks early, new listing median price suggests that pricing will level off and so will end up in about the same place later this spring. And I mean, let's hope that's the case. Now we're looking at the new listings metrics. This is the number of new listings that came to market this week. This week, we saw 337 new listings on the San Jose market. That represents 28% more new listings than the same week last year. And as you can see, our new listings metric has been growing over last year every week of the year. Now, does this mean the San Jose market is becoming flooded with inventory? Well, no, because most people who are listing homes are also buying their next home. Most sellers are also simultaneously buyers. So it's exciting that new listings are climbing so much. I mean, 28% over last year is a pretty big jump. But we have to keep in mind that with new listings comes buyers, which means that demand rises proportionately to new listings typically. Let's keep looking at the data. You'll see what I mean. Now we're looking at homes sold, and the number of homes sold in San Jose has been growing for the past 2 weeks after bottoming out in January, which is pretty typical. This week we saw 161 homes sold. That's only 1.6% more homes than were sold the same week the previous year. We started out the year with our home sold numbers beating last year, and we've now gotten rather tight. We're just barely ahead of last year. However, we know where this number is going. Let me show you how we know. Now we're looking at pending sales, the number of homes that went pending this week. And pending sales is a leading indicator for homes sold because a home goes pending about a month before it becomes a home sold. When a home goes pending, that means it enters contract. Most escrows are 30 days, although in San Jose, the average escrow length is probably more like 10 days. And when escrow ends and the transaction completes, the home is marked as a home sold. And as you can see, pending sales has exploded. This week, 292 homes went pending. That's 67% more than this same week the previous year. Last week, we were beating out last year's last week by 82%. And if we look at the slope of this line, how sharply pending sales rose until really just this past week, it mirrors 2022. By contrast, 2024 and 2023 have much shallower lines. And what you have to keep in mind is that this period in 2022, rates had just hit 4%. They'd grown from about 2.5% to 4%, and we knew they were on their way to 7.5%. And so there was a lot of demand for housing. Buyers bought everything. And that's a similar experience to what we're seeing right now in San Jose. Of course, right now, rates aren't doubling. In fact, they're slowly decreasing, kind of getting just under that 7% point. So one wonders, what is driving all of these pending sales? I mean, is it just pent-up demand for housing? And one more point I want to make here. Let me show you why local data matters. So, as I said, we're looking at San Jose numbers. This is specific to San Jose. Pending sales are up 67% over last year, an absolute shooting up of the numbers. Meanwhile, on the national market, this is the headline from Mortgage News Daily from February 27th, pending home sales hit lowest level since records began in 2001. Now, this is referring to the national housing market as reported by the National Association of Realtors. Guys, this is why you have to follow your market locally. There is no national market. I mean, the national market is basically an average of all the smaller markets that exist in America, and there are hundreds of thousands, if not billions. Okay, there are not billions of housing markets in America. My point being, if you're in San Jose, you want to know what's happening in San Jose. If you're in LA, you want to know what's happening in LA. National market metrics have very little bearing on what's happening in your neighborhood. So subscribe and come back for your local housing market update here on my channel. And we're back in the Redfin data, and we're looking at the number of active listings on the market. Active listings has been growing this year, thank goodness. We're at 1,419 active listings on the San Jose market. That is 22% more than the same time last year. A week ago, we were over last year by almost 22%. A week before that, 18.5%. A week before that, 15.5%. So we're actually growing in active listings relative to last year. And thank God, because active listings are the only bulwark against out-of-control prices. Demand in San Jose is fierce. And the only thing that keeps prices from absolutely running away from us is the quantity of inventory. The more inventory we have, the more easily that demand gets absorbed, and the more slowly prices rise. So this is a metric to watch like a hawk. If this starts to dwindle, then we know we're really in trouble. Now we're looking at weeks of supply. This is another incredibly valuable metric because it balances supply against demand and comes up with a number that we can use to indicate how much demand-adjusted supply actually exists. Now, we peaked last week and actually fell this week to 9.1 weeks of supply on the San Jose market. The good news is we are above last year's numbers at this point. Last year at this point, we had about 7.4 weeks. And even better, we're way above where we were in 2022. In 2022, we had about 5.5 weeks of supply at this point in the year. So even though pending sales are way up, which demonstrates that demand is going gangbusters, because there's more inventory on the market, we're not in as constrained an environment as we were last year and in 2022. Another way to gauge market competitiveness is with this metric, off market in 2 weeks. This tells us the percentage of listings that are pending that became pending within 2 weeks of being listed. We've been growing all year. Now we're at 75%. Now we're at 77.1% of homes on the San Jose market exit the market within 2 weeks. The facts don't lie, people. 3 out of 4 homes are going to be gone in 2 weeks. So if you're a home buyer in San Jose, and you probably already know this, you have to move quickly. It is a very fast market. This is the highest percentage of off market in 2 weeks of any market in California, possibly any market in America. Again, good news and bad news. Fortunately, we are lower than we were in 2022, but we are higher than we were last year. Last year at this time, about 70% of homes are going off market in 2 weeks. And in 2022 at this time, about 84% of homes are going off market in 2 weeks. So this isn't the worst market we've seen in the last couple of years, but it's up there. Median days on market is another measure of market competitiveness. It tells us the median number of days that it takes a home to sell. This metric, of course, has been collapsing all year as prices have been climbing. That tends to be the case. There's an inverse relationship between median days on market and prices. When prices go up, median days on market falls. And obviously that's because competition shrinks median days on market and explodes prices. Right now, the median days on market in San Jose is 13.2. We're just under where we were last year. You can see those two lines are right next to each other. We're doing a little bit better than we were doing in 2022. Again, the market isn't terribly bad, but it's about as bad as it's been in the last couple of years. And finally, we have average sale to list ratio, another metric that's great for giving us a snapshot of the overall market. And as you can see, our average sale to list ratio shot up over the last 2 weeks from 103% all the way up to 106%. And again, this growth was sharp and early compared to previous years. It mirrors what happened in 2022, but again, we're a little bit ahead of where we were in 2022, time-wise. It's a tough market out there, guys, and if you want to keep from getting grifted by realtors, check out my expose on the California realtor scam. I post San Jose market updates every other Tuesday, so I'll see you back here in 2 weeks.